Okay, once again, it's time for the cosigning shitstorm warning. Okay, that's what's got to happen. I got to put this out every quarter now. This is all about parents, grandparents, siblings. I don't care. 90% of the time, it's parents cosigning for their children's mortgages, for their kids when they're not children, they're adults, but they're signing for their kids' mortgages or cosigning. So, quick fact check. If you cosign, you owe 100% of the debt. So let's say it's mom, dad, son, daughter-in-law, 4 people. You think that's 25% of the debt? No. Every person is responsible for 100% of the mortgage, okay? That's it. It's called joint and several, and that's how it works. Okay, story time. Let's hear about the latest complete fuckery that's hit. This was from a customer just last week. They phone in and they say, listen, I'm confused, Ron. I mean, I understand what happened now, but how am I going to get out of this? All right, what happened? So we check our accounts usually once a week. We go through our accounts, look at our investments, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. So we all of a sudden, when we looked at our bank, we went into our bank account, our line of credit on our house had gone from $250,000 to zero. And we did not understand that at all. So we contacted the bank. And they said, yes, that's because there is a serious delinquency on the mortgage on XYZ Street. Whoa, says parents, that's not my house, that's my kid's house. Yeah, it's 90 days in arrears. The mortgage is 90 days in arrears, okay? And we now have to look at everybody's credit products to try to protect the bank. Wait, I'm just a cosigner. And then the bank explains the same goddamn story I just explained to you. You're not just a cosigner. You're 100% responsible for 100% of that mortgage. That's how it works. Okay, sweet Jesus. So that's a problem, right? And you know, don't think it's, everybody says, well, Ron, that's crazy. Why wouldn't the kids have called them? The kids are ashamed. The fact that people, they're not calling. I mean, you know, when you get in trouble, you go into, you go into a shell, okay? You're not going to immediately tell your parents, yeah, we're 90 days in arrears. They weren't totally 90 days in arrears. They'd never been able to make the full payment. That's the trouble. If you don't catch up the full amount, the bank views it as the same as if you didn't pay. I mean, they have to. There's lots of rules around this. There's a ton of rules around default that the bank regulator wants the bank to act at all times correctly and report correctly that they're in default. And the bank regulator says, I don't care if they owed $3,000 and paid $29.95 all 3 months. It doesn't matter. If they didn't catch up, they're 3 months in default. Okay. So now in this case, the parents just ran over and got some money and brought the mortgage up to date on the kid's house. But they said to me, well, how are we going to get our line of credit back? I mean, we weren't really using it, but it's gone and we've had it for years. And I said, look, it's not coming back. Okay, no, it's not coming back. I mean, if you look at your own credit bureau, so pay attention to this, okay? If you look on your own credit bureau, there's an M number that appears. It's a code with an M beside it. That's for mortgages. And on your own credit bureau, you show being in arrears for 3 months on a mortgage. So your credit score is probably down 150, 180 points, okay? Yeah, that's what cosigning does. Cosigning means your lives are completely and totally mingled with your kids' lives. Now, that's just one example, but I have a million examples. So let's understand this too. This is really, really important. In North America, multiple studies prove this. In North America, 20% of all families end up in some kind of major fracture. Okay, you're saying, well, that's not my family. Yeah, it may not be your family. You may be in the 80%. Okay, so you don't know anything about this. But for the 20%, they're all nodding right now. Yep, haven't spoken to my daughter for 13 years. Yep, haven't spoken to, yeah, I mean, like complete and utter fracture. There is a complete break in the relationship. It's gone, okay? So if that happens over money, if that happens over a cosign loan, you can imagine how much fractured it is. You can imagine that families get into a battle about something, about, a marriage or whatever the hell it is, or the son-in-law said something wrong or told somebody off, and then, damn it, there's a whole set of loans going on there that were co-signed, whether it's a car or a house or whatever it is. And then the parents are saying, well, I want to get out of that loan. Yeah, you call the bank and I want to get out of that car loan. Okay. So you know what chance there is of the bank letting you off the co-signing of that car loan because you're mad at the son-in-law, you got a fracture? I'll tell you how much chance. Fuck all, zero chance there is. Nothing, nada. They are not. Why would they let you off? When they did the loan, when they did the car loan, you were in that system and you were the creditworthy person. You were the person that the car loan people liked. Why are they taking you off? Like, let's face it, if the kids qualified on their own, you never would have heard about it. Not a thing, okay? You wouldn't have heard a peep. But you got involved because you're the good credit person. You're the substantial person. So when you're in a fight with that side of the family, you're on the hook for that loan until it's paid off. And that could be years. God damn it, in the States, they're starting to do like 10-year car loans, for the love of Jesus, okay? Like, listen to me. I can't emphasize this enough. And I get it. You just want to help your kids. You want to help your kids buy a house. Your kids, the car got destroyed in an accident. The car engine fell out. I don't know. You want to help your kids with the loan, okay? You want to come to them in their hour of need. And you don't have a clue that something could go seriously wrong. But a certain percentage of the time, something goes seriously fucking wrong. And you are in a trap. You, as the parents, typically the parents, are in a trap. It could be the other way around, but you're in a trap. You're in a serious trap. And it's not anything you can escape from.